I'm joined on Skype by Paul Roberts. Now, many of you may have seen Paul's video. It's of himself and his wife Asha, and they are with their 6-hour-old child, and their child is being removed by social workers and police. Take a look at this video. I warn you, it is extremely harrowing.
Yep. They've got a drill and they're going to drill out the locks. I think they're attacking the mum now. Oh, bless you. They're drilling the locks now, so they're going to come bursting through any minute. If you proud of yourself, what's the danger? What is the danger?
I don't know. I'm not with the detectives and child protection people that have done this.
This is a civil matter. It's done in a private court. There's no such thing as in English law, a private court.
The lady has got the paperwork. Read the paperwork and it'll explain to you on there.
It's not worth the paper it's written on, because it's done in a private court.
Right, well, I don't know anything about that. Okay?
Well, you should do. You're a policeman, aren't you?
I have come here to assist my colleagues who have been dealing with it all day.
Are you on your way?
I've come in at the end of this whole process that's gone on. I've come in right at the end of it, and I haven't been told hardly any of the details about it. Your colleagues who are out there will speak to you in a moment, won't they? And they will explain the details.
You know this is fraud, don't you? They take £30 billion a year of taxpayers' money, of the public purse, and put it into private pockets through the private courts. You know, it's just fraud, child trafficking. They make a living from stealing children.
Paul, will your hand...
There's no danger. Where is the danger?
I don't know, because I don't know...
An emergency protection order can only be issued if the child is in imminent danger.
Are you going to hand me?
Where's the danger?
These people know the ins and outs.
Yeah, where's the danger?
Paul, can I press this a bit?
Yeah, you're a child trafficking scumbag.
Right, listen to
You
me.
shouldn't even be here.
Right.
Clear off. You're not welcome in here. Where's the warrant anyway to enter this building?
Just posted 3 letterbox.
I didn't see it.
Ash's got it. Do you want me to fetch it for you? Let me fetch it
No,
for
fetch
you.
Asher for me.
Do you have a solicitor, mate?
No, I don't.
No. Because Asher's got a solicitor, hasn't she?
I know that what you're doing is unlawful,
Okay, okay.
and I know what you're doing is unlawful too. You can expect a private prosecution.
I would say get legal advice is what I'd say to you.
No, they wait for you lot anyway. Do you want to hold?
It says they've got the original in their pockets or something.
Yeah, but yeah.
Well, I don't know because I haven't seen the original.
The only way you can get this is by bribing the judge. You either lying to a judge or you've fabricated it, one or the other. There's no danger. I've even got a video recording of the pre-birth case conference of the last child that was stolen, and they say we're not a danger. So how did we even get this?
Right.
Wait a minute. Have you got anything you want me to take with us for him?
My parents just spent 100 quid on baby things, and you're just going to snatch the baby away. What a waste of money.
What, do you want me to take something? Have you got anything else to take with him? Give him to me. And then you're going
No,
to see him
no,
tomorrow
they do take it with consent. This isn't weird anything, this is shit.
Ashton, look, we're going to have to...
No
I need to stop off.
No,
I
no,
need to
we're
relax.
going to have to take Jack, okay? We're going to have to take Jack. Now, I don't want to get physical, okay,
This is
at all.
this
Sorry,
is
Paul,
our
let me-
son.
I know.
Yeah, we've got full parental responsibility, we're married. How the fuck did you not get any parental responsibility at all? How did the judge get parental responsibility?
Order there states that we...
It's not worth anything though, is it?
Okay, well it is.
How did the judge get any parental responsibility?
Listen, if I'm
Yeah,
10, he's
sure.
going to be 10. So
So you're getting upset?
Yeah, because you lot are here, now fuck off.
Or you're shouting?
No,
You're
to
raising
be
your
fair.
voice.
Oh, no!
Can you finish in your face?
No!
Think, man,
No!
okay.
You carry on, you will be
That's not your hand. If that's me, that's what. Well, you're taking your elbow to my ass, that is a troll.
You walk towards me.
No, but you lean into me.
Let me just
Be
take him.
human, be
Let me just take
understanding,
him.
and just be
Let me
normal.
just take him from you then. Let
No,
me
don't,
just take
Asher.
him.
Don't.
Oh, well, that's making our job really difficult then, because we are taking Jack.
What's your
There
job?
are enough
Yeah,
people here.
you're making money from stealing children.
Okay. Look, I'm going to take him.
Paul, I'm not assaulting anyone.
Okay.
I'm trying to cuddle my wife. I'm trying to cuddle my wife.
Let us take...
Can you
I'm not
do
going to let you take my baby, am I?
Can we all just calm down?
Yes.
If I'm 10,
Get your hands off me, that's assault.
can you just go back off?
I am calm,
I mean,
but your hands off
because
me.
you're the
Okay.
ones who are causing this tension.
Right, and none of us are going to go.
But,
That's it. None of us are going to go. We need
what
to
are
take,
you going to do
we
with
need
this
to take,
screaming baby
we
in
need
the
to
car?
take Jack. Okay? We need to take Jack now.
Oh,
Before
good.
everybody gets.
This is
very
Jack.
upset.
There you go, take that.
Before everybody gets very
That's not
upset.
Jack.
Well, you're the one
Particularly-
who caused the tension.
Okay.
Which is like me tense,
Okay, well,
which he
am I
consents.
shouting? Am I
Well,
raising my voice?
good mother knows that.
Okay.
Yes.
Right, okay. Asher, I need to take Jack, okay?
Why do you?
So, can you pass him to me, please?
Turn your back.
Paul, you're not
Oh,
you're not
yeah,
helping.
Hey, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help my wife
At the
to
end of the
protect
day-
my son
At the end of
from
the
you
day,
lot.
you're going
Calm
to get
down.
arrested, aren't you?
Carry on.
I don't care. Do you think I care?
Right.
You think I'm bothered if you arrest me?
I'm sure you want to be here
You're
for
trying
Asher
to
when we
steal my
take Jack.
children. You've
We're
only
not
stolen
stealing.
3 of them.
Right, okay. Ben, can you move Mr. Roberts back,
Oh,
please?
come and stand back here.
It's not
Put your hands off me.
saying
Come
nice
stand
to
back
me.
here.
I'm not as dumb as you think I
Oh, I'm
am.
not saying that.
No, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not consenting to any of it.
I'm not asking you to consent to
And I
it.
want
So I'm
to-
asking
No,
you to
no,
put your hands off me.
You're to me, which means you're, and no one, if
I'm
you
going to
snatch him,
I'm not going to snatch him. I
so
don't want
what
to
are you
snatch him.
just getting physical with me
Because you
for?
won't hand the baby across, that's why.
And if she's getting physical with me, and I accidentally drop him, that's
But
fine.
that's not going to stop what's going to happen. We are taking the child.
That's what you want, and then you can blame me.
Actually, we are taking
You're
it.
cornering me and you're
Okay,
scaring
well,
me.
okay, I don't want to scare you.
Yes,
I
you
am
do.
going-
You
I am
know
going to
exactly
take
what
it.
Can you
doing.
just back off
No,
a
I'm
bit?
not gonna back
I'll
off.
come
I'm-
forward because I don't want to be in the corner.
Pass Jack to me then.
No.
Well, I'm going
Don't
to.
pass him, we're going to take him from you, aren't
I
we?
don't want to
Can you
take
just
him from you.
sit back?
Pasha.
Yeah, I'm in the corner.
And I've asked you to hand him over to me. I've asked you to hand him over.
Well, I'm asking you to hand over your wallet. Are you going to do that? I don't think so, are you?
It's can you just
Asha, please just pass me, Jack.
You're asking someone to hand over their child. What do you think you are?
Well, the point is we're here now. It's going to happen whether you two wanted to or not, which clearly you don't. Now,
Well, of course we don't.
we'll have to resort to using force if that's what it takes, but we don't want to do that.
That's what you do. That's why you're here, isn't it? This is a civil case. The family court is a private court.
Listen to me.
You know, what you're doing is
If your
illegal.
wife doesn't pass the baby,
You should read the Bill of Rights and the Magna Carta. That's our constitution. Are you even English?
Please pass
no.
English law.
No, because you're scaring me, which will scare him.
Okay, well, I don't mean to scare you, and
Yes,
I
you
definitely don't want to scare Jack. So please pass me Jack.
You're causing trauma. Jack wants its mum. What do you think your baby wants as soon as it comes out? Wants its
Come on,
mum.
Asha, let me move
Thank
my
you.
Please do. I don't like you touching me.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
get your hands off my wife. You're assaulting her.
Right.
And you're a policeman. Look at that, assault. She's touching. She's got her hands on my wife.
Sit down, Asha. Sit down, Asha. Just sit down. Sit down, Asha. Sit down.
we're not going to snatch him, Asha.
Yes, you are. You just said you're here to snatch a baby. Use the word snatch. Well, that's it. I know I'm not helping you to snatch a baby.
Asha, we are going to have to take Jack. Okay. Now, social services have arranged for contact with you tomorrow with Jack. Okay.
Can I report a kidnapping then? You're a police officer.
We know where the child's going, don't we?
Yeah, but this is a kidnapping.
Well, we don't know where
You're
the
taking part in
child's
that.
going at all.
Yeah, from a private court. There's no such thing as a private court. Yeah, private law, private court. Yeah, if you read in the Bill of Rights and the Magna Carta 1215, you realise that a private court, well, they're still in power today. They were that Magna Carta was written before Parliament existed, before they made up this statute law. Yeah, statutory law can only be enforced with consent. You get consent. Get your hands off my wife. Asha, please. You're assaulting my wife now.
Physical contact.
Yes, you are.
Come on, please.
Look at you, please.
I can't hold
Would you calm down if someone stole your child, your only son, would you? Well then,
I wasn't getting physical! Why are you grabbing me?
Grabbing you, I was holding
you're
your hand.
assisting in a kidnapping. What are you doing here anyway? Fuck off. I presume he wants to speak to you. This is a child snatcher.
You forgot his clothes! You
We'll
don't
take them,
the
we'll
clothes!
take them.
What do you want us to take?
I presume we can get some things that they want us to take for him, can't
What
we?
was to take the outside?
So today's
No, that's what we want us for him. Well, he's coming back.
Is there anything that you want to send with him then? Is there any? anything at all that you want to spend with it?
If you give them to me, I'll take them outside.
No, let them spend money on it.
Okay, that's fine.
Or,
Whatever you wanted to do.
can I just give you those? That's the keys to your door.
Is it?
Give me some things to take for any.
No, you lot stole the baby. You can spend money on providing.
What do you want to do, Esther? Do you want to give anything?
Anything for him.
No, just get on the phone to your solicitor.
Anything goes.
Actually, listen,
If
we-
there's an accident
Yeah, but
tonight.
They've
Yeah,
got all this
listen,
stuff, haven't
we
they?
will, if you don't want us to
They
give
use
that stuff,
public
we will,
money.
we will provide that. It won't be left in dirty
They
place.
use public money to pay these
It'll be
private
looked after.
courts and everything, and
Okay.
use fraud as well as kidnapping.
Asher, Paul, can I ask you something? Do you want us to go through about what the contact arrangements are going to be? What we've got set up for tomorrow?
Go on, you've stolen the baby, now fuck off.
It's up to you. If you don't want us to kind of discuss what the contact arrangements are going to be.
Might do what you did last time, just give us a piece of paper with the information on.
But we got sometimes.
Nothing to discuss, you've stolen a baby.
Sometimes
You're
we
breaking the
be
law.
told in a
Assisted by the
letter,
police.
or when I came to contact, they tell me when the next time.
Okay. I can
And
tell
give
you
us a
now.
letter.
I can tell you now. Or do you want me to send a letter to you? Because we're looking at tomorrow for contact for you tomorrow.
Let him tell you, and then you'll know how to see him tomorrow, won't you?
You've been watching the news, haven't you, with Jimmy Savile and that house thing? You take children that are snatched and abuse them, yeah? That's what you're assisting now.
Yeah.
You're going to abuse my son. It's a paedophile. He's a pedo. You can tell, look at him. Stealing children.
Will it be for?
2 hours tomorrow, 2 till 4. Ashley, listen to me. The midwives are going to make sure that Jack's seen tomorrow, okay? So they'll check him out to make sure he's all okay. What about
He's
you?
okay.
Yeah, you know.
They take
they
him
have to
over
see
the
a
sword
new baby,
out.
don't they? What about you?
I'm
Do you need to see the doctor soon?
No.
Okay. Listen, we can talk with you more tomorrow when things are a bit calmer, okay? Okay.
So that's 2 o'clock. You want us to arrange a taxi for you?
See Jack tomorrow for 2 o'clock. They come about 1:15, 1:30 in the taxi. The taxi will be here. Then they go for 2 o'clock.
I'll arrange a taxi. We're going to arrange it. Yeah? So we're getting it for probably about maybe,
What about 1:30?
yeah. So we'll arrange a taxi. Listen, your solicitor's contacted us. You're going to be in contact with your solicitor. Thank you.
Yeah, we were talking a bit today,
Okay.
but not for long.
Can you make sure you get in contact with her? Yeah? And she'll ring us. Yeah? Because we have a date for court. And like I said to you before, this is whatever you said to us and all your grievances, put that into court. Get legal representation, and then you can all the things that you've got gripes about, get the solicitor to put that into court. Just as you said, that's where you do your voting. Yeah? Alright, so we'll arrange a taxi for tomorrow.
Yeah. Well done. Proud of yourselves, aren't you?
We've just had a look at your video. It's, well, harrowing at best. I've written about it before as a journalist. But you're joining us today because obviously there is a clear disparity. Your child in that video was removed. Why?
It was risk of emotional harm in the future, is what they say in court. I've got I made a recording of a pre-birth case conference of a previous child that's been snatched, and they said it's about parenting your children, but they've never actually offered any parenting classes or put support back in place that was working before.
Now,
decided to snatch the children.
right. Now, obviously, extremely harrowing situation for you. I can't imagine as a parent, I can't even begin to comprehend the pain that you will have endured. But what I find extremely interesting is one of the reasons that they have talked about removing your children is because they say that your wife is not fit to look after them. Is that correct?
Yeah, they say she's too disabled to look after the child.
Right. And this is where it gets interesting from the perspective of a journalist, I have to say, because most recently she's been ruled as fit to work by Atos.
Yeah. Well, we had all the benefits stopped, everything, and was on £0 a week for about 8.5 months. And my wife reapplied for DLA because she'd been on it for 12 years previous to that. She was in a care home. And Atos said that she's cured of cerebral palsy. That's what all her conditions were put under the umbrella of cerebral palsy.
How do they justify this, Paul? They remove your children on the grounds of, as they say, future emotional harm, but not just that. They also say there is a problem with the children being physically cared for, and yet your wife has now been ruled as physically fit enough to work. How do they even begin to justify this action?
They don't justify it at all. It's just the system contradicts itself to get what they want. I don't know. Just how it is, isn't it?
Where does that leave you?
In a lot of debt from when they stopped the money altogether. And we've been forced into poverty and debt, and we've got no children. It's my branch of the Roberts family is just wiped out for all time. I'm like 41 now, and my wife's creeping up to her 40s. There's going to be no more children anyway, so that's the end of the family.
Is there not anything within the system that can actually help you? Because there's clearly a problem there, as I say. If on the one hand they say that your wife is not physically fit enough to look after the children, but they have now stopped your benefits because they say she's physically able to work, is there not somebody within that system who is able to say there's something wrong here, we must help them?
No one's been able to help at all.
So you're just thrown out in the cold?
Yeah, basically.
What was the impact of you putting out your video on social network, Paul?
Well, they tried to imprison me. A lot of people, they got 35,000 views on UK Column, and I think there's something like nearly 100,000 views on my Facebook page where it was on, and then it got deleted all of a sudden. He said that Facebook claimed it harms a child. The video does.
Oh, so the actions of complete strangers rampaging into your home when your wife has just given birth is okay, but you then highlighting it on Facebook is harmful to the child. That's what they're saying?
That's what they're saying, yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine what it must be like to be you at this moment in time, or indeed what you went through. As one of the reasons that we've showed an excerpt from that video is it's really important that people actually see what is taking place. I was shocked when I viewed your video. I think many people were. Where can people find your video in its entirety these days? Because I think it's really important that people are able to access it.
The entire video was published once by me, and then it got taken down, removed by the government, allegedly by the government. It was Staffordshire County Council that did it.
And
there's only what is up there now.
And what did Staffordshire County Council have to say to you?
Well, they're trying to say it's contempt of court. But I've got nothing but contempt for these people who break into people's homes and steal children it's for profit, really. If you look at all the expert witnesses, someone got paid £6,000 to write a report about a report she'd read. The psychologist got paid £9,000 from legal aid and another £9,000 from my wife's solicitor through legal aid. So that's £18,000 to write a small report. It was discredited in the family court as well. He was saying that my wife had talked about domestic violence, and my wife in court denied ever saying that. And then he's saying that I'm mentally ill. And I have a recent letter from the NHS mental health team to say that I've got no mental illnesses at all. And I handed the letter to Judge Orwell in the court, and he dismissed it, saying that the NHS mental health team are not experts. In other words, they haven't been paid thousands and thousands of pounds by Staffordshire County Council.
So what we have really is the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing half the time.
I'm sure they do know what they're doing.
Yes. And because there is a clear, I mean, today we are talking very much about the upcoming Cinderella law. We're talking about the fact that that obviously will now be reinforced in law. We're very, very concerned about the interpretation of what constitutes emotional abuse. We already know that many children are removed from their parents and placed into forced adoption on the basis of future emotional harm, which is, I believe, spurious at best, because how can we tell about future emotional harm? It's a very spurious charge to level against people. I think that your case is a massive injustice. I mean, if there's anything at all that we can do, Paul, I would be happy to do it. I would be happy to petition any government ministers, anything at all that we can do to help you, because I think that you've been placed in a dire situation at best. So if there is anything else further that you think we can do, you just have to let us know. I will be happy to attempt it. Certainly I will.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Well, no, not at all. But, you know, I mean, it's awful. I hate the fact that we can reach no positive conclusion with your situation. You've been thrown into a dreadful scenario. You've been stripped of support, and it absolutely stinks as far as I'm concerned. Absolutely stinks. Do you have a campaign group or anything that other people can come to and support you?
No, I'm a member of many campaign groups, and a lot of people are aware of what's happened, but I've not got any in my name, if you know what I mean.
How could people... I mean, what ideally is needed, and I know that the Shoestring Army, which involves Keith Ordinary Guy, is about really getting together legal means to help people. I'm not necessarily saying about situations like yours, for example, but what we need is a decent benefactor to step up and say there's something awful. A mass injustice has happened to this family and I want to help them, because that's what you need. You need actually some practical support and backing now. That's what needs to take place for you. So if anybody is out there who feels that they can help the Roberts family in any way, shape or form, because at this moment in time they have been plunged into poverty on top of having their children removed from them. And I would like to think that we can get something positive as a way forward to help the Roberts family. But for now, Paul, take good care of yourself. And if anybody approaches me, I will be immediately back in touch with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care.